The real strength is seen from your thighs. A wrestler's strength is also based on how strong his thighs are. For a man, the thigh is the supreme spot of displaying his strength. For a woman, the thigh is the epitome of her sexiness. In fact, a woman does well in the field of glamour when she has a prominent thigh. Every woman who has a beautiful thigh attracts more glamour, more prosperity, more pleasures in life. There is a very old saying, if your thighs touch, then you are one step closer to being a mermaid. The thigh has always been a source of strength. To men, the thighs signify their strong will and strength to fight back, and to women, the thighs signify their sexiness, beauty, glamour. It is necessary to remember that we all are born through the thighs. A very well-known poet, Susie Kasim, writes, "From her thighs she gives you life, and how you treat she who gives you life shows how much you value the life given to you by the Creator. And from seed to dust there is one soul above all others, that you must always show patience, respect and trust. And this woman is your mother. And when your soul departs your body and your deeds are weighed against the feather, there is only one soul who can save yours, and this woman is your mother." What a beautiful poem by Susie Kasim. Great power, great strength is required in the thighs so that a new life, a new baby comes out of the womb of the mother and sees the light of the day. Salute to all mothers, because the father becomes free after sowing the seed, that is sperm, but it is the mother who nurtures it, grows it, and eventually gives birth by gathering tremendous strength in her thighs. It is very significant to know that it is the woman who goes through a major transformation the moment she gives birth to her first baby, the moment she becomes a mother. The moment a child is born, the mother is also born. She never existed before. The woman existed, but the mother never. Every part of a human body is of significance, has some purpose, has some higher purpose, and has some connection with the stars, the planets. Thighs are directly connected with Shatabhisha Nakshatra. Especially the right thigh comes under direct influence of Shatabhisha Nakshatra. And since Rahu rules this nakshatra, it is natural for Rahu to showcase its strength through the thighs. Have you ever seen the Pahalwan who shows off his strength by tapping over his thighs? It is a common practice, especially in a typical Kushti match in India. Rahu rules over your thighs, and so when Rahu is in Shatabhisha, the person takes great pride in showing off his thighs. They love to wear shorts, men or women, they are the shorts lover. Wearing shorts is also a way of showing off how modern and carefree you are. And that is exactly what Rahu loves. Rahu loves to do all of those crazy things that the traditional society would never let you do. In many traditional countries, wearing shorts at public places is still considered as a crime. But Rahu loves to do all sorts of such crime. Maybe that is why many criminals have a misguided, strong Rahu, that is desire, in their charts. Rahu in Shatabhisha makes the person modern, forward thinker, and a trend setter. Yes, you heard it right. These men and women have the ability to become fashion designers. They do well in all kind of creative arts. The Shatabhisha Rahu person is an extrovert person, and so generally they like to have many friends. They are socialites. They take great interest in social networking. Generally, they have a large network of friends and connections at all levels of the society. Rahu in Shatabhisha brings great interest in sex. Generally, a person with this Rahu loses his or her virginity at a very young age. Although nowadays many women and many men lose their virginity before they cross the 18 years age mark. But these Rahu men and women always lead the pack when it comes to losing their virginity. Rahu loves to do something different in sex, so they try different ways of doing sex. These men and women need constant change, something new, something different, be it in sex or food or work. They like to try something new, something different. The ruling Vedic deity of Shatabhisha Nakshatra is God Varuna. Justice, truth, liberty, equality. God Varuna represents all these values, and Rahu simply exaggerates these values. The person fights for fair trial, justice, truth. Individuals with Rahu in Shatabhisha can definitely become good lawyers and lawmakers. Many forward-thinking women are born with Rahu in Shatabhisha Nakshatra. This Rahu has the capacity to bring great fame and great authority. Melania Trump has Rahu in Shatabhisha Nakshatra. An ex-model, she rose to the highest stature of power when she became the First Lady of the United States of America. You see, Rahu in Shatabhisha has a full capacity to provide you the essentials to rise in life. But you all should remember that you may have a BMW car, that is Rahu in Shatabhisha, but you can drive it as far as you have the necessary petrol or gas. So capacity is there, but the real question is whether you have enough petrol or gas, that is supporting planets and dasha, to utilize its capacity to its fullest. Shatabhisha is connected with medicines and alternative treatments such as hypnosis, Reiki. Men and women having Rahu in Shatabhisha, especially with moon, do exceptionally well in the field of medicines, pharmacy, and alternative medical treatments. The negative side to this Rahu is that person can get addictive to drugs, alcohol, or tobacco. Because these natives live more in their head, they always need some stress relievers, and so they get addicted to such harmful addictive items. Intellectualism is what they breathe day in and day out. Aquarius sign men and women anyhow are highly intellectual beings. On top of that, if you are born with Rahu in Shatabhisha, then you become too much obsessed with intellectualism and miss to realize that intellectualism is a poor substitute to intelligence. Always remember, mind is not your intelligence. Mind can be intellectual, which is a very poor substitute for intelligence. Intellectuality is mechanical. Rahu in Shatabhisha is a strong indication that the native is Rahuish by nature, and that brings ambition, ego, aggressiveness, selfishness to the forefront. Although it works well for someone who is aspiring to become a politician, because you cannot succeed in politics unless you are Rahuish, total Rahuish by nature. The politician is not the most intelligent part of humanity. Always remember this. Otherwise, there would not have been 5,000 wars in 3,000 years. It is the politician who is creating the atomic weapons, the nuclear missiles. With what face can he make the people of the world aware that the future is dark, very dark? Rahu in Shatabhisha gives birth to a born politician. Now it is not necessary that every born politician has to become the head of the state. He can be anywhere: home, family, office, company, shops, malls, and he will not leave a chance to play politics. Certain souls are habitual. From many past births and rebirths, all they have done is to play politics. So this birth also they continue to do the same. Life indeed goes on repeating like a wheel until you have become mindful, until you become aware. Shatabhisha Rahu or Rahu in Shatabhisha is a very strong Rahu. And so when Ketu Mahadasha begins, then these folks start feeling the heat. And the reason is not Ketu, the reason is their Rahuish nature. They always had wanted for more and more and more sex, more money, more power, more luxuries, and now Ketu slows them down. And they just cannot understand what is happening. It is like a man who have been traveling all his life in a bullet train and now suddenly has been shifted to a local train. Imagine his condition. He feels frustrated in Ketu Mahadasha. The reason is his own nature of always speeding up, running fast, trying to grab as much as he can, trying to cling to as many things he can. But now Ketu Mahadasha is simply helping him realize that it is in his interest to slow down. If he can listen to what life is saying, he can sail smoothly through the Ketu Mahadasha. Else, he will always remain frustrated. Always remember, it is not a life that is frustrating you. It is you who are not listening to life. Rahu in Shatabhisha Nakshatra men and women simply cannot understand the fact that one must not expect anything in return. These natives, being Rahuish, always are expecting, and that is how they make their life a misery by their own ignorance. To all natives born with Rahu in Shatabhisha, remember, expectation is the cause of your misery. Once a young man had come to receive me, but he looked sad. I said, "What happened? You look sad." He said, "I was expecting 20 lakhs but received only 10 lakh rupees. This is the problem. Now if you would haven't expected anything and would have received 10 lakh rupees, then you would have been a joyous man. You would have been a grateful man. Gratitude would have been flowing through your heart, and you would have been thanking God." You see, happiness comes from gratitude. It is not happiness that brings gratitude. It is gratitude that brings happiness. Never expect anything, and then even if you get a small loaf of bread on your plate, you will cry with joy in your heart. You will be grateful towards God, and this state of being grateful eventually will bring abundance of happiness in your life. But people are shallow, and when the Rahu is in Shatabhisha, then what to say? These natives are full of expectations. They keep expecting, and in the process keep getting frustrated. Every expectation is a bondage. It leads to frustration sooner or later. The mother of all frustrations is expectation. An intellectual being is always expecting. An intelligent being is never expecting. And that makes an intelligent person far superior than an intellectual being. Intellectuality is mechanical. The intellect is absolutely bankrupt. It has nothing of its own. All is borrowed. And that's the difference between intelligence and intellect. Intelligence has an eyesight of its own, a capacity to see into things, into problems. Intelligence is your born quality. Intellectualism never brings depth to your being. Always remember this. Every year in the month of July, thousands of devotees of Lord Vitthal set on a pilgrimage that starts from Alandi and ends at the feet of Lord Pandurang Vitthal in Pandharpur. These thousands of devotees, with many of them illiterate, many of them farmers, these devotees are called Varkari. It is possible that all these devotees may not be true seekers, because many join in and there are always fake devotees who also join in. But among these thousands of Varkaris, there are few, very few, maybe just as much as you can count with your fingers. And these are the real beings with great depth of understanding. They may not have gone to any universities or Harvard or Boston, and still what they have within, these intellectual beings can never understand and can never appreciate. After all, you can appreciate only that which you also have within you. A plastic rose that looks perfect on the outside will appreciate another plastic rose. But a real rose is one in a million. And a real rose will always appreciate another real rose. A plastic rose is perfect. It has no thorns, but it also has no fragrance. Only a real rose has the fragrance, and one who is willing to, able to accept a real rose with all its thorns can experience the fragrance of real rose. And that is how God is, my fellows. That is how Jesus is. That is how Krishna is. That is how Shiva is. That is how the Supreme Consciousness is. To walk towards it, you have to walk through many stones and thorns. Your feet may start bleeding, but a man who is truly devoted, a man who is truly fired up, a man who is truly committed simply keeps walking. His feet bleeds on the way. His body may tremble by the many storms of his life, but like a true warrior, like a true lover of God, he keeps walking with unwavering faith in his heart. Such a man is Varkari. Such a man is a real devotee. Such a man always experiences that which your naked eyes cannot. The naked eyes can only see your physical body. Man gets attracted to a sexy woman because his eyes is limited only to her external appearance. He is unaware of what she is in reality, and that is how many men fall for the looks and then later regret heavily. This is Rahu, because Rahu is appearance and Rahu is also ignorance. The woman you fall for is because of her appearance, Rahu. And the act of falling just by getting attracted towards the outward appearance is your ignorance, which is also Rahu. Rahu in Shatabhisha therefore brings many personal setbacks, especially in relationships. Professionally, these fellows do exceptionally well. You will find many rich and famous men and women with Rahu in Shatabhisha. One thing is for sure, when Rahu is strong, you will not remain poor for a long time. Even though you are born in a poor family, you will rise to a higher status in life, because strong Rahu means strong desire. And so when desire is strong, the desire manifests sooner or later. Philosophy, occultism, black magic, all of this comes and can be mastered by men and women with Rahu in Shatabhisha. However, spiritualism is something that remains far from these natives, because Rahu is more interested in occultism, mystery, and not in spiritualism. Spiritualism is the path of love and devotion. It is a greater path, a higher altitude, which a Rahuish man or woman cannot relate to. And so they take occultism as spirituality, when in reality, occultism has absolutely nothing to do with spirituality. Jesus will never ask you to learn hypnosis. Buddha will never ask you to learn black magic. The real masters simply will show you the most beautiful path, the path of love. One of the greatest Sufi saint, Rumi, says, "There are many ways to reach God. I choose love." Love, devotion, bhakti. This is the way of spiritual journey. But people are behind powers, supernatural powers. There was a young man, he never thought or desired for any powers. He simply devoted himself to his master, and a time came when he started walking on water. And he was such a beautiful man, such an innocent being. He never even realized that by walking on water, he has performed a miracle. My fellows, such a man is the real disciple. Such a man is the real devotee, and such a man someday also becomes the real master. Rahu in Shatabhisha is a sign that the soul is still not evolved and is yet to go through many cycles of birth and rebirth until he wakes up to the higher cause of human life, that is self-realization. Bhagwan Raman Maharshi, one of the greatest divine master, says, your own self-realization is the greatest service you can render the world. Rahu in Shatabhisha resonates with Rahu in Adra, Rahu in Swati, because the common factor that brings them together is Rahuish nature, ambition, greed, intellectualism, and intense sexual desires. Many times for marriage matchmaking, people look out for moon nakshatra matching. But along with moon nakshatra matching, one should also look for Rahu nakshatra matching. And that could be altogether a new stream of studies, because Rahu in itself is a subject as vast and as deep as the 7 oceans. Rahu, when falls in Shatabhisha, the whole focus is on Saturn, since Saturn becomes the source of desires. And so placement aspects of Saturn along with Rahu's placement and aspects become significant in the matters of destiny. All in all, Shatabhisha Nakshatra men and women are perfect Rahuish. They are passionate, extrovert, and simply loves the limelight. Maybe that is why we have many glamorous men and women born with Rahu in Shatabhisha Nakshatra. These natives just love to stand before the camera. Many TV anchors and media news channel reporters are born with Shatabhisha Rahu. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Rahu simply is on high when placed in these 3 nakshatras. In Shatabhisha, that is in Aquarius, Rahu is socializing, working on large networks, brings forth wide publicity, and basically fires up the values of liberty, humanity, and equality. Always remember, Rahu is highly intellectual by nature. If this intellectualism finds a good support for a good cause, then Rahu in Shatabhisha can and does bring a positive change in the society. Although Rahu is a poison, still the same poison has helped many doctors and scientists to create greatest medicines that can heal their patients. And so it all depends on where and what form this serpent Rahu falls in. Rahu can either make your life or break your life. Depends on what quality of desires you have been cultivating within your being from the many past births and rebirths. Every human birth, you get a golden opportunity to raise the quality of your desires. And you can do so only when you start turning inwards, only when you start controlling your monkey mind, only when you start chanting the name of the Lord. The best means of spiritual realization is chanting the holy name, says Srila Prabhupada of ISKCON. Always remember, birth happens because of your desires, and liberation happens because you have overcome your desires by focusing within and chanting the holy name of the Lord. The cycle of birth and rebirths begins with Rahu, and the cycle of births and rebirths ends with Ketu. Only the blessed ones walk on the path of liberation. That is why I always say that real blessing is not in getting a BMW. Real blessing is in realizing the fact that the purpose of life is self-realization and taking the efforts towards it, which only happens with the blessings of the compassionate Master, the Guru. Guru is everything in our eternal life. Nothing is possible without him. Life needs some power to push you up, and Guru is that supreme power. Therefore, my fellows, always be grateful, always be compassionate, always help those who deserve your help, and always chant the name of the Holy Lord. Guru Nanak believed in chanting the name of the Lord, being in prayer, giving life your best, sharing your wealth, protecting the weak, standing up to tyrants, and always working towards the betterment of the world around you. He was against anything that stood for discrimination, falsehood of all kinds, hypocrisy and blind beliefs. Rahu's hypocrisy is so deep that many times people fail to find the real face. But that is how Rahu is. Rahu is good in creating a false impression, a fake aura which only a man of heart, a meditative man can quickly identify and expose the illusions that Rahuish men and women generate. Your relationships or your business deals or the decisions you make in life will improve as you start turning inwards, as you start meditating, as you start finding time to spend with yourself. Spend some time alone every day, says Dalai Lama. Only a man who can be alone can love in the true sense. Always remember, being lonely is different from being alone. Being lonely means you are missing someone. Being alone means you are simply happy to be with yourself. Loneliness is a dependence. Aloneness is sheer independence. Man ordinarily lives in loneliness. To avoid loneliness, he creates all kinds of relationships, friendships, and whatnot. But the basic thing is that he is very much afraid of being lonely. To avoid loneliness, you run out and fall into anybody. Just to hold somebody's hand to feel that you are not lonely. Nothing hurts more than loneliness. But the trouble is, any relationship that arises out of the fear of being lonely is not going to be a blissful experience, because the other is also joining you out of fear. You both call it love. You are both deceiving yourself and the other. It is simply fear, and fear can never be the source of true love. If you want to mature as a human being, if you want to experience the essence of true love, then my fellows, I appeal to each one of you to come out of the fear of being lonely and start realizing the beauty of being alone. The day you will realize the difference between being lonely and being alone, the day you will be able to live your life perfectly by being alone, that will be the day, the moment, the real turning point of your life. Always remember, only those people who are capable of being alone are capable of love, of sharing. Their happiness cannot be taken by the other because it is not given by the other. That man and that woman is a blessed soul, a beautiful soul who simply rejoices in the state of aloneness. Rejoice in the state of aloneness. Spend some quality time with yourself every day and remember to meditate with love and devotion.